Oh, hello everybody. I'm sorry. Say Google, what time is it? Hey Google, what time is it?
7:01 p.m.
It's 7:01 p.m. You know what that means. It's time for crafting in the crafty basement. Yay, I think I almost have this down. I forgot to go to active stamping in this area, but I'm excited to be here. I have a confession to make. Well, it's not really a confession. It's just like one of those things that I'm sure everybody goes through. I found this cute card up on Pinterest, and it didn't have directions with it right away. So I, looked at the picture of it, and it didn't have anything on the inside. So I decided this is what it was going to be, with these two little squares on the outside and the third square making it like that. And I thought, oh, that's not bad. So I spent it cutting and all the pictures and whatever, all the different pieces to make 3 extra cards so that my mom could make one and Betty could make one and I could make one online. So then Sunday, of course, what would I have to do is play more on the internet. And what happens? Oh my God, the card kind of looked like this, but when we put it together, it wasn't like that at all. In fact, here's the card that I'm making tonight. It does have the 2 squares here, and it does have the square here, but it's got this extra little foldy thing in there to make it even more fun. Holy baroni, whatever, holy baloney. So needless to say, I have all those pieces that I'm going to have to incorporate. Maybe I'll do it with the ladies in the nursing home. But anyway, this is the card we're making tonight. And I got the instructions finally off of Dawn's Stamping. I think she's, I forget, Dawn Stamping. So Dawn Griffin. I forget what the name of it is. So anyway, I forgot the name. But tonight's pieces is what we're going to need is we are going to need a cardstock base. So this is different. Cardstock base that is 8.5 by 5.5, 8.5 by 5.5, and then it's scored at 2 1/8 and scored again at 4 1/4. Or if you don't want to score it, you could just fold it in half and score it. And burnish it, and then do this so that you have a Z fold is what this fold is called. I did not put this in the directions, but we always should have some kind of a card inside, especially if you're using a dark colored cardstock. Okay, the other thing you need with that same cardstock is you're going to need 2 2 3/4 inch squares. Okay, so 2 3 3/4 inch squares. You're also going to need the same, and this is Poppy Parade. It's such a bright, pretty red. You're also going to need 2 of these at 1 7/8, so just shy of 2 inches. So those are basic cardstock. We're also going to need 3 pieces of designer series paper, and this is retired paper with the strawberries, but I really love these strawberries, and I got to use this paper up because I don't know, it's springtime and strawberries. June will be here soon enough for the pick it yourself strawberries. So you need 3 of these, and this is 1 7/8, so again just shy of 2 inches, by 5 1/4, and you need 3 of those. You're also going to need 1, well, it says 2, I guess I didn't put this in here, but this one is 2.5 by 2.5. You're going to need that, and I hope that's the right size. I think it's going to be too big because I didn't write that one down. You're also going to need 2 pieces of basic white at 2.5 by 2.5. One of those you're going to cut in half diagonally, and I gave the other half to my mom, so I don't have 2 of these, but you're going to need 2.5 by 2.5. You need 2 of these, and then one you're going to cut in half. Then for my card, I got 2 1.5-inch squares, 1.5 by 1.5-inch squares, and then I cut up some DSP things here just to play around with my focal points. So there we go with that. Oh, Charlene is here. Oh my goodness, from Washington. I watch Charlene on Friday nights. I watch Autumn on Thursday nights. And Jan is just always there with me, and I'm always grateful for her. Hi, Charlene. How are you doing? I met Charlene at the last convention that they had in Salt Lake City, and she and I buddied around, and it was so much fun to get to know her. She's the nicest person. Turns out, I think you were from California then, but now you moved to Washington, and you have a beautiful space to do your crafting in. Anyway, these little pieces here are for decorations. We're going to put my crafty basement over to the side. Keep that up there so you know who I am. Okay. Connie Polk is here too. Hi, Connie. How are you doing? So I'm going to kind of push these things aside so that we can, but try not to lose them. And we're going to start to assemble. So again, this is a Z-fold card. It's a regular piece of regular card that when you fold it in half, you can fold it back again like this. The important thing with this card is to make sure that you are scoring your folds really well so that the card stays shut. So again, you know, ever since I keep thinking I'm going to clean my basement and find my green glue, but I haven't done that yet. But this cardstock is cut at 4 and 4 1/4, and that's always going to be your inside sentiment if you have just a normal regular size card. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your glue, I want to make sure I had a good glue that was opening. Guess what? I didn't even open this one yet. This is Aleene's Tacky Glue, which is one of my favorite glues. Liquid glues I like to use. I especially like to use the green glue mono adhesive. Okay, there we go. Now it's open. Yay! So anyway, this is Aleene's Tacky Glue. I prefer the green glue or Tombow multi-purpose glue, but unfortunately right now, let me get a bigger scissor to cut this out. Right now it's hidden away somewhere in my craft room, which is hilarious. As you know, 2 weeks ago, oh my God, has it been 2 weeks already? I had a little bit of a problem with the flood and started to clean up, and now I don't know where anything is. And yes, I have been cleaning up. I've done a great job of cleaning things up. Well, I'm just going to remove the liquid glue and go to a tape runner. So we're going to glue our inside piece here. Boy, am I really... There we go. So now we have our inside piece. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 pieces of designer series paper, and we are going to adhere them one here, and then one here. So I'll do that while I read my Charlene, you're so fun. You're so sweet. Brian says, but you love that glue. I do love that glue, and I have absolutely no idea where it's at. It's somewhere. In fact, I have like 6 bottles of it, but I can't say that they're all together, but they must be if I can't find them. Okay, so what I love about our designer series paper is it's got 2 sides, and I'm going to use both of them because they are just too pretty. They're not always that pretty on the other side, but in this case, it's got those little strawberry seeds, and I just think that's cute. Again, this color is Poppy Parade. And this is retired paper because on Monday nights I really encourage you guys to use your stash. Make a card using your stash. You bought 10 bottles of the green glue? Holy buckets, I hope you bought it under your demonstrator ID so that you get the credit for it, Autumn. That's too funny. I know, I bought like 6, but there you go, bought 6, but where the heck are they? Only somebody besides me knows where it's at. Okay, so here we have this part of our card done already. Yay! And I kind of like having that thing there. The next thing, I think this is too big. This was supposed to be 2 and I think it was 2 1/2, and it's way too big. So I'm going to get my cutter out because of course I cut everything and then I divvy it up between my mom and my mother-in-law. And then I don't have the, I'm cutting off this because I'm going to cut it down to 2. Let's do 2 3/4, yeah. Let's do 1 3/4. And I finally have found, I've only had this cutter forever, but I finally have found 2 3/4, the way to make it so that it doesn't, you know, shift your paper. I don't know if it ever does like this for you and shift around. Well, guess what, guys? Stampin' Up! Has solved that problem. See this little thing here? If you hold it down, oops, your paper doesn't, well, it's not supposed to. Your paper doesn't slide around. I just made a liar out of myself. So, in order to cut these things into diagonals, the best thing to do is to take your point and your point. I like to put it down here in my, let's move this up. I like to put it down in the groove here so that the point is in the groove, in the, I only can think of groove now, but I know there's another word for it. And then put the other point up at the other part of that. And then you're going to cut down, and then you're going to have this in 2. And as I mentioned before, you're going to take your 1 and a 2 1/2 and 2 1/2 and do the same. I'm not going to do it on this because I did this already. But again, you're going to put the point in the groove and the other point in the groove. Shut your cutter, and then this is not the cutter. And then you'll have 2 pieces. So you'll want to do that. And while I have my cutter out, I might as well do the other diamond head. It's not a diamond. It is a square or a diamond, depending. You're going to take one of your squares that you cut out of your designer series paper, and you're going to fold it in half so that it makes a triangle. And again, you want to make sure that you are, make sure that I'm in. Okay. Okay, you want to make sure that you are creasing really, really well. And Connie's there. Connie says, "Hi, Jan." And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that point, and that's where you made your crease. You're going to take this point and you're going to put it on the 1-inch mark, which is here. So you're going to take your point. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. You're going to take your points, you're going to put it at the 1 and down at the 1, and then you're going to slice off that corner so that instead of a square, you're going to have a square that's folded in half, and then you're going to cut off 1 inch or leaving 1 inch. I think it's taking off 1 inch. And you're going to put it, the one there, line up this, and then slice it off so that you're going to have a piece that kind of looks like this. And I guess if you were making duck faces for Easter, this could be a duck bill. Quack, quack, quack. Okay. So now I can move this out of the way. See if I can remember what I'm doing. So we're going to come back to this. And remember, we had just cut that to 1.5 by 1.5 inch, or 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. We're going to take those and we're going to put them on the side here. Take those corners, and you know what? I'm going to use this other side again. I'm going to use the seed side. So that now we have this crazy looking card with all this designer series paper, and it is just being so amazing. Look at all that color going on. That's pretty fun. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put this part on here. So we now have this, and we had that half of a, remember I told you to cut 2 of these squares here, and then again you cut it in half. We're going to use half of that. I want to call it a diamond just because it's like that shape right now is a diamond, and it's really not a square anymore. And I'm going to glue it onto here. We're getting ready. You know that next Sunday is Easter. We have 1 week before we get to Easter. Oy vey. I decided that we're going to have a salmon, and I'm going to have Tom grill the salmon, which I thought would be delicious. I was going to think about making a lamb, like a leg of lamb or some kind of lamb. I decided I didn't want to be that adventurous because I didn't think I could do it. So now this is the part that was a little bit hard for me. But what you're going to do is you're going to take this part here. You already applied the white cardstock here. We're going to turn that over. Okay, and this is first we're going to eye it up. You have this 4 1/4 inch the fold here. You're going to put the edge of that cardstock along here. So we're going to want to put, here we have the white cardstock. We're going to want to put, you probably want to put like real strong glue on here. I don't know how strong this is. This is the old-fashioned snail adhesive. It says it right there, even though it's blue. I've had this cover forever. So you'd want to for sure do that. Duckbill, there you go. Thanks, Jan. And you're going to Green Mill for Easter buffet. I wonder what kinds of things, Jen, do they have on that? So again, here we go. We have our white cardstock side we're going to turn over. We're going to take this cut side and we're going to adhere it into the middle here. And I had the glue there. So now what we have is the basics of our card. And now all we have to do is decorate it. I love it when people say that. And now all we have to do is decorate it. And if you see here, it's really not opening so well. That's where I want to make sure that I get in there with my bone folder and really, really burnish it a lot. And Mom, I try to do that for you upstairs, but I don't know. Oh, there we go. So that it comes out. That's so cute. See, it's so cute. We're going to take this part here and we're going to adhere the white onto the red again. You might be using other colors. You know, I really would encourage you guys to make cards, and I really should do this. I should like do a giveaway. I think I learned that from you, Charlene, is that, sorry, the brain only works in parts. So that to do a giveaway, and I think that whoever makes the card and then uploads it or puts it on a comment so that I know that you're doing it, I would love that to happen. And then I'll send you guys out. What Charlene does is the card that she makes on air, she then sends it to the person. So if you like my card, you should make one. So here I put the white onto the red, or the white. It's a basic white onto the Poppy Parade, and then I put the glue onto the back side, and I'm going to adhere this. And if you look at this, if you look at this closely before I do this, I'm going to try to center it between these two and between these two. And it almost makes it to the edge, almost, but not quite. So if I bring this down a little bit, I can kind of eyeball. Oh, and then it kind of goes right up to here too, but not quite. So you're going to have your points just about 1/8 of an inch away from the other one. And then you know you're getting it straight. There we go. And with Mom's card, I put words here, but I don't have words. But I think I have this from last week. I have hanging around here. No, I didn't clean up. I was doing other things. I'm going to put my hello there, right here. But you can put whatever kind of sentiment you'd want in there. And then on this part here is where I'm going to decorate and put my little, here I got a little strawberry, and I have a little strawberry leaf. And I won't tell you how long I looked through my stuff to find my strawberry punch, because this is the paper that came out with this paper, and it had big strawberries on it, and it had a punch that you could punch out the strawberries. Guess what? I never bought the punch to go with it. Who knows why I do these things? But it's so funny because I waste most of my time either looking for things that I've cut out already or that I haven't bought and I thought I had. Most of the times it's trying to find the stuff that I bought already. You're liking my card. Who's that? Kathy? Oh my goodness. Kathy, where are you from? Oh, Hams, Jan says, at the Green Mill, which is a pizza parlor up by us, she says that they have things like hams and salads and cheesy eggs and bacons and sausage. My mouth is watering. And then, Kathy, where are you from, hun? Loving your card. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna go back here. We're gonna put my little strawberry here. I'm gonna put another little, these are little baby dimensionals. I'm in a love-hate relationship. I either love them for the little things, but then I hate them because they're so little that you have to really, really work at your fingers. Let me see, let's have that stick out here. And then I cut a little flower out. Not that there's any blue anywhere else on the card, and I always try to keep the cards like that so that, anyway, we're gonna put that there. So right now what we have is we have our card. Ooh, that shouldn't be like that. That's how it's gonna be. Okay, so now we're gonna take these two little diamonds. You came with Connie Polk, I remember, Kathy. I guess I remember your first name, but you put it with your last name, and I totally draw a blank. What does that mean? What does that mean? I have no idea. The brain of them. Hi, Kathy. How are you? I'm so glad to see you. Kathy came to the buffet that we had the other day, and also a class on doing brushos. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. So okay, so I'm taking my white cardstock and I'm putting it on my red, and just for grins and giggles, I put just some other cardstock in the middle. Again, that's that same, I think one of the cats has been down here just now. We have a cat box down here. No, I'm not going to go there. Brian, keep my mouth shut. I'm good. Good to see you too. You don't really see me, which is good because I don't really have to comb my hair. I love that Charlene, my friend from Washington, she does a split screen where she's partially there. And I was asking my son, or Brian, so what do you think? How can I have it so that my face is here? And they always say, okay, let's go crafting. And then they bring the camera down and they show you what you're doing. And then I realized if I did that, I'm going to take this off. If I did that, I'd have to do things like comb my hair or something like odd. I'm just kidding. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here, and then I'm going to put this one here. So let's do that. So that means that when you are lining this up, you only want to put the glue, the adhesive on half. So you want to make sure that you're putting it on a half that you want it to be on. And then you put it back. This is going to go kind of in the middle of the two. What I'm going to do is kind of line it up on the bottom here, put the points to the edge, to where the fold is. I'm going to do the same to this one. I don't have to really worry about my designer series paper in it. I don't like that one's on crooked. You know this trick, guys, where if you are trying to peel it off because you did it wrong, you do this and you put hot breath. And then it comes off. You got a little residue there, but I don't care about the residue because I'm just going to be realigning this one. That really is not called huffing. Oh gosh, I put glue down there. That's really not huffing, but it's kind of like. So then I'm going to put this here. I am now what they call designing on the spot. And then I have this little hello there. I think I'm going to put that here, like that, so you kind of be surprised. Ta-da! So here we have hello there. On this card here, here. Woo! Look at that. I love, you know, it has a little bit of cutting to do, but I think that the putting together is not that hard, but I think the card is just adorable. Anyway, so here's the card that I made, the first one. So here, instead of doing, I put a little hello in the middle of the diamond, which I didn't do here. And here, instead of doing little cutouts, I cut out, this is penned petals, hand-penned petals. And then I punched it out of a circle, and I put the circle there. And then here, I again put the little, actually I didn't do white, I just put designer series paper, and then I cut out parts from the designer series paper. And I thought, oh, Colleen, you're so clever. Yeah, I'm so weird. And then on this one, I used that fun DSP that was from our celebration. And then I used, I think this is Bows and Blossoms. And then I stamped and cut. This I just did the stamping, and here I did another one over the top like there. But this is like what I thought it was. I was like, oh my gosh, why doesn't it just doesn't do anything for me? But this really does a lot for me. I really enjoy this. Really fun. Really fun. I should have a fun fold class and then do these fun folds that we've been doing online. So here you go, guys. Here's your challenge. I am going to watch my website all week long, and anybody who... Oh, Brian says I'm always camera ready. Huh, that's because I'm behind the scenes. Okay, marvelous. There you go. The marvelous paper is this paper. So whoever would make a card and then you post it up in the comments, I will send you the strawberry card. If you want the hand pen petals, you could just say, I'd rather have the hand pen petals. And I think between these two, I have 2 cards. So let's see if I have more than 2 people meet that challenge. So I'm excited because the next thing I'm going to do, my son told me about. Okay. We have upcoming classes, but I don't think you can hear me. So I'm going to show you slides of my upcoming classes. I don't think you can hear me. Can you email your card? I suppose you can email me. That'll be fine. That was Brian's question. Now, you may not be able to hear me, and in fact, I don't think you can, but I'm going to show you my upcoming classes. Upcoming classes in the Crafty Basement. This is just in case you can hear me. I have a oh, this says the wrong thing. It's actually making a card using this bundle. It's not backgrounds. What it is basically is April 23rd. It's using this bundle here. You're going to make 6 beautiful cards. Get off of that. This is the one with the backgrounds using the alcohol inks and vellum and our blendabilities. And that's going to be April 30th. That's at 9:30 in the morning, $20. But then in the afternoon, no, this is the afternoon of the other class. These aren't the cards you're going to be making, but it's a buffet. And it's $15. You're going to make 6 cards of your choice. These are not your choices, but if you want to make more, it'll be $3. Okay, back to the Crafty Basement. Well, I hope you all have a good night and a happy Easter. Oops. I have to go back to my stamping so you can hear me. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. I like to have ice cream on Monday nights after my live as a good job, Colleen. LOL, LOL. You can hear me? Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad you said that, Jan. Anyway, I was saying I hope you all have a happy Easter and that may you be blessed this week, even though it's going to be cold again, and I'm like totally bummed. But anyway, you guys all have a wonderful week.